Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it, ready to have a little bit of fun with, let's just call it a brand that has been near and dear to my heart for many years. So I'm going to walk you through the journey of this brand, at least from my perspective. Kind of go through a little bit of like their different whiskeys that they've had over the years, and we'll end up with why the last one was in my top whiskeys of 2024. Cool? All right. So I've been talking about this this brand most recently with my patrons a lot, even some subscribers as well in my local like whiskey community. This is a brand, like I said, I've been following this brand for many, many years. So I'm gonna take you through this journey, just more about just talking about the brand as a whole. So let's just kind of start back with when I think old school whiskey from this company, I'm gonna go old school. So I fell in love with this brand, Redwood Empire, many years ago. Gosh, many years ago. So many years ago, Redwood Empire, which is based in Northern California. Think of like the whole redwood trees, obviously. So they're based in California, Northern California, near that area. When I think back, they were sourcing MGP whiskey, and like, you know, many other brands that source MGP whiskey at that point in time, they always did a really good job. A lot of the bottles that I bought on the shelf were like this one here, older MGP whiskey, aged 12 years, in different finishes. This one happens to be bourbon whiskey finished in aged 12 years, finished in a Zinfandel cask. But I bought many of these over the years, and I was like, wow, this is amazing whiskey. And I mean amazing. And I knew they were sourcing from MGP, but to me, I didn't care because the whiskey was flat out just ridiculous. It was truly insane. And I always said to myself, I hope Redwood Empire starts to distill their own whiskey, and let's see how it is. All right, so that was kind of going back in time. Judge walking around different liquor stores, finding these older single barrels, aged 12 years of Redwood Empire. Had a couple of them, and I loved them from the start. Then Redwood Empire did what many brands do. They made the transition, and they started to distill their own whiskey. And we got the 4 and 5 year old product, came out in different versions, and we're gonna go over here. They came out with the Rocket Top Rye, the Grizzly Beast, and they had a few others. I tried these a few years ago, and I was like, all right, Redwood Empire's onto something. These were the bottled and bond products. And, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and just pop this Rocket Top Rye real quick. These were the bottled and bond products, so they're aged like 4.5 years. It was their own distillate, so they made the leap of faith, the journey. They did the right thing. They distilled their own whiskey. And when I bought these, I was like, you know what? These are actually very good quality whiskey. Great deli sippers. Ones that I think, honestly, truly, you know, they deserve, let's just call it like, you know, more attention from the whiskey community. And before I move on from these, let's go ahead and say cheers to Redwood Empire and their journey. Cheers to Redwood Empire. Very sweet, delicate for a rye. Right, this is a straight rye whiskey for a rye. And you're right, it's 100 proof. It's bottled and bond, 87% rye, 5% wheat, 5% malted barley, and 3% corn. To me, this sips way closer to a bourbon than it does a rye. It's very nice and clean on the palate. And when I first had their distillate, this whiskey here, I remember thinking to myself, Redwood Empire, they're here to stay, and they're serious. I thought that was really cool. I like these expressions a lot. And then I was wondering to myself, all right, well, what's the next thing? What's going to come out next? Will they have a cask strength version? Cask strength version. That's good. Cheers again to Redwood Empire. So then they came out with this one here. Lost Monarch, cask strength. Very nice. So this one here was, look in the back real quick, 55% straight rye, 45% straight bourbon. And this one was also aged, I think also like in that 4.5, 5 year range, roughly, give or take, you know, a couple, you know, months, whatever. When I had this, I thought this too. Pretty good, really good. It was definitely on a good journey. and wanted to know, I wonder, like, you know, with a couple more years, a little bit more age, a little bit more depth and character, how will, like, some of their older whiskey, because this cask strength was very good, how will some of their older whiskey do once it's like past like that 6-7 year mark? Then Christmas of 2024 happened. Yes, Christmas of 2024, just a month ago, less than a month ago. I had heard that Redwood Empire, number one, changed their bottle design. They literally made their bottles now look like the redwood trees, which they're kind of named after, and it was still their own distillate, but aged a little bit longer. In this case, aged 8 years. This one here. So Mrs. Judge, I heard about this, obviously. This is a single barrel, the Haystack Needle, their own whiskey, as it says right on the back. They're very transparent, and that's one thing about Redwood Empire I've always enjoyed about them. They're always very transparent. This one is a single barrel of their Haystack Needle, aged 8 years, coming in at 115.6 proof, char level 3. They give the mash bill breakdown as they normally do. 51% corn, 44% rye, 2.5% wheat, 2.5% malted barley. So I opened this Christmas Day, the second I got this present from Mrs. Judge. I mean, we're under the Christmas tree, and it was like 10 a.m., and I'm sipping whiskey. Because I wanted to know how this was. Aged 8 years. This is what I was thinking of 5, 6, 7 years ago, wondering, will they ever come out with this? They made great leaps of faith along the way. And then I decided, or Mrs. Judge decided to be the best wife in the world, and she got me this single barrel. Let's just say I sipped it, I enjoyed it, and it cracked my top 24 list of whiskeys of 2024. This, my friends, is what I would say it's the great, not end of the journey, but it's a great part of the journey of Redwood Empire. They are a brand that started sourcing, started to distill, made progress, and now they are just hitting home run after home run after home run. This bottle was so good, I had to ask my wife, where did you get this from? Because I then quickly ran out and got a backup bottle. I drink a lot of it, but I will say I shared a lot of this with friends as well recently at a whiskey event, and everyone agreed. Redwood Empire, they are here to stay. Hey, as we say in this courtroom, peace, cheers, most important, salute, and cheers to Redwood Empire kicking some butt. This, my friends, is amazing. Take care. See you guys.